Hey guys, what's happening? So, I wanted to experiment with the inverted V dipole, a permanent situation with the aluminum rods. So, if you're not familiar with this box design, I designed it a few months ago, and currently on my roof there's a horizontal, the same exact setup, but it's horizontal, and I have it connected to my grant here. But it doesn't sound as good as my. I'm not picking up as much as my Stardust or vertical quarter wave ground plane. So I wanted to put this and try it in an inverted V configuration. That way I could put the antenna higher on the roof. Because right now it's probably about a half wavelength, so like what, 102 inches off the ground, somewhere around there, to get a good SWR. But if you're not familiar with this design and you didn't see the other video, it basically runs it's basically a 1-to-1 Balun box. And it runs this Toroid here. Yeah, so I've made a few videos about this design. So what I'm going to first do is wrap this in tape. Then I'm going to wrap it with some 16 gauge magnet wire. So the heavier gauge wire that you use, the more wattage it can obviously handle. So this should easily probably be able to do 1,000 watts. But I mean, I'm probably going to be pushing tops, 500 watts. Because I might or might not get another amp, a bigger amp, but I don't know. I really don't even talk in the radio. For me, it's just emergency preparedness, but it's fun. It's a hobby, All right, so I need to get these things in here. So these are M8 threaded rods. So this is actually what the antenna attaches to, the aluminum rods. I think they're 3/8 inch aluminum tubes. And then, like I said, I need to wrap the toroid. I gotta fish these in there, and get everything bolted down. All right. Get these tubes in there. Alright, so the leads to the Balun are going to be connected to those things right there, and they just go in here. So once I get the Balun all put together, I'm going to go back and I'm going to solder the wire leads into there. But once I get let's look at the first phase. So if you didn't see the first part of the video, the long stud gives me the adjustability for that long 3/8 aluminum rod coming off of it. So I can adjust it. I have a few inches of travel to dial in the SWR. Oh yeah, and here is the lid for it. You can see that. And then actually this connects to a conduit mount. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to grab. This goes like that. And this basically locks into like a piece of conduit, like that. So, alright, so I'm going to wrap the toroid with some cloth tape here. I got this over at Marvac. It's Mass. I don't know what they're called. I'll put a link down below what it is, but it's just like a cloth tape. And what it's for is I'm doing this to prevent I don't want the toroid. There's like some sharp edges on there, but I don't want it to cut into the wire. I don't want it to take the protective coating off the magnet wire. My first attempt to do this, it kind of like got into there. So if you can see in the frame, it's going to wrap it like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, the thing is to prevent the coming into the wire. So I'm going to wrap it real fast. Alright, so I'm going to cut 4 30-inch strips of magnet wire here. Alright, so I'm going to put a zip tie on there. This actually doesn't interfere with the front. And then I'm going to wrap it 12 times like this. Yeah, I don't have to be as precautious with the cloth tape, about cutting the part. So I'm going to go back, make sure that stays forward. Come back, make sure that's not wrapped and tight. See right there, gotta make sure they're not wrapped. Come back. Kind of headache. Once you get the hang of it, then it goes faster. All right, it should be enough for one side. This will be the positive side. So I go that 12 times, and then come back. Alright, so what you'll do is, for 12 turns, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, so it goes up right here, right? So this first one is half a turn, and the back one is half a turn, so that equals 12. So it's 12 turns. Alright, there it is wrapped. So that's going to be the positive side, that's going to be the ground side. Alright, now I go to kind of do some measuring. Put that in there. Okay, cool. My laser revision is actually a lot tighter, so it wouldn't wobble around in there. So it's got to fish them in the right spots, and then I'm going to put some stuff on them. I got to put my SO239 connector on here. So every connection that goes into the box, like here and here, I actually use weather code. I'm going to put a layer here. So anything that's actually exposed to the weather or might get water in it, because this is going to be out where it rains, so I'm going to have weatherproofing around everywhere. Alright, so that's the ground tap side. Alright, now I got to fish this back in, but I'll probably do that later on the back. So I've got to fish these down in the correct position, so that might be a little tighter. This is a slightly different design, so I might have to bend that back temporary. Alright, so I'm going to pre-fish the wires in place. I cut them. Alright, it's been a couple days. I got sick, so kind of have a sore throat, but got the Toroid finally soldered in there, cut in there. So I ordered this little kit of M670 bolts. That goes through and that actually mounts the pole, so I'm going to get that in there. But before you do that, you have to put weatherproofing. Any place that actually contacts the outside, or there's a hole through the outside, like here, this lid right here, any place where it's actually going to be in contact with the weather, like I weatherproof this. There's actually a cover for that too, like a protective wire cover that I have. But any place that's actually like weather, you want to keep that water off, or water from coming back in here. Okay, got the seal on. So on the cover, the ground symbol on the cover, that corresponds to the outer shield of the coax SO239 connector. Alright, get some screws in there. Alright, we're looking good. Got it all sealed up. I have it locked in place right now just to keep all the seal in place for the bolts. Yeah, that's the end of part 1, I guess. You have to go up now in part 2 and install it and test it. But it's like I said, it's the same thing with the aluminum shafts, where the threaded aluminum shafts, I have that adjustment here for the SWR, I can adjust it. So, but right now that's how my horizontal sounds. So my Starduster is this one on top. So the Starduster sounds pretty good. That's why the horizontal sounds. If I can't get out of the driveway, I'm at least going to do some. Well, it's weird. The horizontal has less noise. Well, this is also a really good radio. You know, this is an incredibly good radio. So I was going to convert that horizontal to an inverted V and see if I got any better range or that kind of stuff, because the Starduster is pretty incredible. The Starduster is a quarter wave ground plane antenna. It has those long radials. See, what's weird is like sometimes the horizontal sounds better, and then sometimes the inverted sounds better, so it's hard to know for sure. But it was easier just to build a new one, because the Toroid was only $10 or something. So then go up there and try to mess around and take down my old hardware. Just once I go up on the roof, I'm just going to swap them out, and I have to go up and down the ladder a bunch of times. Alright, cool. End of part 1.